Hello, hello, and welcome to the branding behind Alex Hormozi's $100 million launch. All right, so my name is Cynthia Akita. I am your brand strategist, designer, and educator here at the Design Firmacy, your number one business pharmacy. And I'm here to break down the amazing launch that I witnessed over this weekend with Alex Hormozi as he launched his new book, $100 million money models. All right, so I want to get right into it. Pardon me if you see me looking all over the place. I have a lot of notes and I want to make sure that I don't miss anything in this technically 10 video series breakdown of his launch, but mostly his branding. Now, the reason why I wanted to do this series is because I noticed that everyone is going crazy about his marketing. And yes, he absolutely had to build an avenue, a shuttle in order to sell this book, but his branding is what made that shuttle move. And so we're going to dig deep into the branding portion of things. Although it's a part of marketing, your branding is your foundation. And so that is the purpose of this video series. All right. So I want you to take the journey with me as I break it all the way down. Again, I am a brand strategist at the Design Firmacy, your number one business pharmacy. And we teach you guys how to build strong brands that are healthy, that don't have you running in circles. So the foundation of what we teach here at the Design Firmacy is based on our brand vitals. And that is our framework. All right. So I'm going to get into that in just a second. So again, welcome. Your brand vitals is essentially what your business needs in order to survive and thrive. And so every business has a brand, whether you're building it intentionally or having other people build it for you accidentally. But every business has a brand, but not every single brand is actually healthy. So a lot of brands tend to appear as though they are strong on the surface. They have the great visuals, the catchy taglines, and they may even have steady sales, But the struggle here is that what we don't see, the foundation beneath all of it, is very shaky. And that's why so many businesses tend to burn out after having such a good launch. And they struggle to maintain relevant once the trends start to shift and things start to change around. So one simple truth that I like to live by and I love to teach is that a brand is like a living body. It is breathing, it is alive, and we need to treat it as such. So in order to survive, the vital signs that show whether you're healthy or in danger are your brand vitals. And that's exactly what the brand vitals framework measures. So it covers 9 core areas, or as I like to call it, 9 core vitals, to give your business a clear diagnosis of its strengths and its weaknesses so that you can stop guessing and start building your brand or rebuilding your brand with confidence. So let's go through what some of those vitals, what all of those vitals are. So we're going to start with brand core. So your brand core consists of your brand's purpose, your vision, and your values. Now, without a core, your brand has no direction. And it is essentially the heartbeat of your brand. It fuels why you exist beyond making money. Now, yes, we're all in business in order to make revenue because that shows the level of our growth, right? But your purpose goes far beyond that. Again, it is the heartbeat. It's the reason why your brand exists beyond all the bumps and the curves and the roller coaster of what business building just entails, right? And so your purpose, your vision, and your values are just so much a part of your core and such a great part of your business that it is a vital that you definitely want to pay attention to. Next, we have brand positioning. Now, your brand positioning has everything to do with how your brand is placed in the market. When you're standing in a room next to your competitors, what makes you stand out compared to them, even if you guys are doing the exact same thing, right? And so positioning ensures that your brand not only is seen as a different brand, but one that is relevant and worthy of being chosen. And that's a big deal. Worthy of being chosen over the next person. So that's your second vital. Your third is your brand persona. Now, just like human beings have personalities, and you're able to tell one person from the next because of who they are, their voice, their tone, their characteristics, what's fun about them, what may be a little boring about them. Those are all the things that also make a brand feel human. I always love to say you're building a brand as an invisible representation of you. And so you're literally building this invisible being that represents your brand wherever it goes. And because it's just like a human, you need to treat it as such. So having a brand persona allows people to connect emotionally instead of just transactionally. And a lot of times we see that in businesses, because there is an actual transaction taking place, we forget that there's an emotional connection that allows for that transaction. So that's where your brand persona comes in. Next, we have your visual identity, and that's the look and feel of your brand. That's typically your first impression, the packaging of your story, and a very silent communicator of your values. Now, most of us tend to run to the visual identity portion of our brand first because it's a lot of fun. You get to pick colors, you get to look at imagery, images, logos, and all of those things. But it takes a strong strategy to ensure that your visual identity is a true representation of your core. It's literally your core that builds everything else in your business. So that is an important portion of your brand's build. Sorry. Then we have branded offers. Now, your branded offers are how your products and your services are structured. It's how they're packaged, it's how they're priced, and offers that reflect your uniqueness create a demand without heavy persuasion. You don't have to haggle and hustle people all the time because your offers built correctly will speak for themselves. Next, we have branded experiences, and those are the moments that your audience will always remember. I mean, I'm sure a lot of us have had situations where we may not necessarily remember a specific detail of something, but we always remember how it made us feel. And branding gives way for that as well. So from your customer interactions to your events to additional experiences, you're able to build loyalty, and word of mouth goes a lot faster than ads sometimes these days. And so that experience, those moments that your audience remembers, then builds that loyalty that allows them to continue to help you grow your audience because they've become your fans. Then we have branded touch points. Now, touch points are places where your audience comes in contact with you. So that can be an email, it could be a poster, it can be a billboard, it can be social media. Wherever someone comes in contact with your brand, that's considered a touch point. So every interaction that people have with your brand, including your emails to even your checkout pages, those are touch points. And consistency across those touch points helps to build trust, because inconsistency runs people away faster than anything else you can think of. So your branded touch points are extremely, extremely important. Then we have your branded philosophy. Now, your branded philosophy is the belief system that shapes how you do your business. Now, this is what your audience will tend to repeat when you're not in the room. It's how your movements are born. It's what you believe. And sometimes we don't realize that our beliefs are essentially what runs the business. If you believe that, if you have a cleaning business and you believe that all of the products that are brought into the home should help people in a healthy manner, they shouldn't have so many toxins in them, that's going to help you decipher whether you want to use product A versus product B when cleaning a toilet or cleaning a kitchen, so on and so forth. So those beliefs help you run your business. Now, finally, we have branded framework. Now, that's the proprietary system or the methods that cement your authority. And so your frameworks make your ideas memorable, scalable, and ownable. And that is just your step-by-step process. A lot of us have frameworks and we don't really acknowledge it because we don't think it's of any value, but it is of the most value because it gives you a place in this branding world. It gives you a place in society, that a system that someone can then implement in their own lives to get them a result. So with that said, when all of your 9 vitals are strong, your brand works like a well-functioning body. It's resilient, it's attractive, and it's built to last most of all. But even if one of those vitals are weak, the entire system is going to suffer. And so a strong visual identity is not going to save you if you have a weak core. And so clever offers are not going to be fixed if you have broken touch points. One part helps the other. They all help each other in this healthy ecosystem that we have going on for our brands. And so just like with your health, ignoring those symptoms does not make them go away. And that's why the Brand Vitals framework is vital, literally vital, because it gives you clarity. It takes the guesswork out of branding, and it shows you exactly where to focus so your brand doesn't just survive today's market, but it thrives in the long run. Your brand is alive, it is living, and it's breathing. And the main question is, how healthy is it? So if you have a quick moment, go ahead and take our Brand Vitals assessment so you can assess where you stand on your Brand Vitals and give yourself a bit of a path towards complete and total health in your business. All right, so visit mybrandvitals.com and then we'll get going on the breakdown. I'll see you in the next video.